Hello YouTube and to all my subscribers, and this is Rygen with yourself tutorials, and today we're gonna be continuing my comparison video tutorial for Paint Tool SAI and Photoshop CS6 regarding on Lineart and Lineworks, on which program software is best suited for creating Lineworks for your anime characters and for your manga creation. So I'm gonna head on to Paint Tool SAI. As you remember, guys, this is the final product or the final render of what we have created last in the part 1. All we use is just a mouse on this one and the Linework tool here, which is really amazing, wherein you can draw perfectly well using only a mouse. And here in Photoshop CS6 we also did that also to see the difference between those two softwares, and clearly, as you can see, Paint Tool SAI really wins because without using any graphic tablet you can really create in-depth details on the lines in Photoshop. In Paint Tool SAI only using the Linework tool, while in Photoshop CS6 you cannot really just create a dynamic line with it, but you can use the stimulate pressure, but you can never get the same result as into Paint Tool SAI. So yeah, in this part 2 we will have to differentiate them, which looks better, which of these tool have great results when you're creating Linework using a graphic tablet. And well, I will be using a graphic tablet, and will be my graphic tablet. It's the Genius Easypen i405X, which is really cheap and looks like a child's toy, really, but it gets the job done. So yeah, so let's head on with it and creating a Lineart using a graphic tablet this time. So in my part 1 I started with Paint Tool SAI. In this part 2 I will be starting again with Photoshop CS6. So let's create a new layer to create let's hide the Linework mouse here, then show the sketch. Let's change the opacity a bit more, like that. And then let's add a new layer above so that we can create a new Lineart using a graphic tablet. So here we go. Let's click on the brush tool here, then choose I think this preset here. We can choose either one of these two, but I will choose this one. It's just the default settings for Photoshop CS6, and still we will be using 3 pixels. Okay, so here we go. I will tell you the difference between those between these two different softwares here. Okay, we're gonna be okay. It's when using a graphic tablet, I have to adjust the pixel size here. How about 6 pixels? Right? Okay, I think that's good. This is the most tricky part of doing Lineart using a graphic tablet with Paint Tool. With Photoshop CS6 because it does not have this nice option which Paint Tool SAI has. It's really hard to create smooth and straight lines when you're sketching. You have to be thorough though. Okay, that looks neat. It really takes quite a while because because creating these lines is really hard when you don't have this option here. I'm gonna show you that later. So I'm just gonna speed things up here now so that the video will be not longer. Okay, so here I go. We'll speed things now. Hello guys, I am back now, and as you can see, this is the best that I can do in tracing a line art for a clean line art for my Sarada Uchiha here. And as you can see into my speeding my way into creating the line art, I really struggle in creating straight lines, curved lines, which I trace on the raw sketch. It's really hard in Photoshop CS6 because it does not have this kind of option here, like in Paint Tool side, which is called stabilizer. It stabilizes your it helps you stabilize your by creating lines and curves into your art. And here it's just like raw. It's really hard. You cannot really control how much the curve would be like when you are drawing and sketching in a paper. But in a Photoshop, it's really hard. But this is the best that you can do with it. You can edit it later, change, erase some parts that you do, that seems like off. The dynamics of your lines were off, or it's bad, or it's bad. You can change that once you have finished the raw image of your line work here. So I'm just gonna merge these two images here. Then merge layers. Okay, so I think we have a nice line art here. It has some dynamics in creating your lines, but I think that's the best that you can do in Photoshop. Now let's head on to I'm just gonna save this file. Okay, let's head on now to Paint Tool side. I'm just gonna hide this one here and then show the raw sketch image of Sarada Uchiha that I'm gonna create here a new layer above. Okay, I'm just gonna name this tab line art, something like that. Okay, and then in here in my line art, I can choose whatever option that I have here, a preset of my brushes here. I decided to create different video for my different brushes and how the brushes looks like when used. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna just skip that part, and I'm just gonna use this line art thick here so that I'm emulating like this line art like of what is in a manga or a comic of Naruto. So here I go, and my stabilizer setting here is for it's 8. The higher the stabilize is, the more stable the lines that you can go, but the higher it is, the slower the processing of your computer can go. So there will be a much greater delay when you are drawing a straight line or any curved line or whatsoever. So the sweet spot for me is 8, so I'm just gonna head on with 8. Okay, so now I will try my best in creating a line art for Sarada Uchiha now. So here I go. Now as you can see the difference, it's not really hard in creating those curved lines in a Paint Tool side. Okay, so I hope you see the difference between now the Photoshop CS6. See? Okay, I would like to keep that one here. So I'm just gonna speed things up now for you guys so that the video will not be longer. So here I go, I'm gonna speed things now. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop the speeding of my Lineart here. I'm gonna explain something here. As you can see, I have clicked here a stabilizer option here, and I'm gonna click the highest option, S7, because it's really hard to create something that is very long. So a long line or a long curve when tracing. So I'm gonna show you what is happening here when I use the stabilizer option into the highest level to its highest output. Here we go. We will try to trace here. You see that delay? Yes. This option, stabilizer option, is a really good an option you can do when creating long lines, because it's really convenient in creating long and curved lines where you cannot reach. So yeah, so basically that's the purpose of it. All right. Okay. It's really helpful. See that. Okay, so if you find it hard in creating something very long lines and very long curves, you can use this stabilizer option later, and you can edit it later. So, yep. And you can just change the result here, something like that. Okay. And then we will just erase those excess lines. Okay. So so that it will look more natural. So I'm gonna speed things up again to complete this line art. Here we go. Alright guys, I'm done. I have completed the line art. I have chosen only a line art flick brush preset so that you can see how clearly the line art that has been done with it. So yeah, and let's compare now between the tab line art I've done using a cheap graphic tablet here, and then the new line work layer here, which I've used using only a mouse. Line art work layer here looks pretty good because it has more dynamics here, and in the tab line art it's pretty raw, drawn by hand. Really looks nice also. So yeah, you can choose between of the two, Photoshop or Paint Tool SI here, but for me the winner is Paint Tool SI because it has this amazing stabilizer options. You can go into for normal drawings, you can go to 5 or 8. That is the most stable for me. As for this Genius Easypen i405X graphic tablet, which is really great. And if you are creating long lines, or like some example for long hairs and etc., which is really long, you can use this S7 here where you can properly trace it. If I have taken a long time in tracing it, I can perfectly copy the lines in my on the sketch that we have created for Sarada Uchiha. But as you can see, the result is still great, even though I haven't focused in creating the detail more exactly as a sketch. So yeah, so that is the result between Paintool Sai and Photoshop CS6. I hope you see the difference, which is better, because for me Photoshop is really good for image editing, picture editing. It's really great, but for me, for creating line art or anime or anything, something like that, or for drawings, line arts, yeah, Paintool Sai is the best tool. It's really not very heavy into your computer, does not really require that greater GPU power. As you can see, even though if you maximize the image, it does not lag as to here, something like that. You can, it's kind of a bit laggy, as you can see that there here. Even though as you have moved that, it's really still smooth. Well, here this one, you can see that it's lagging because Photoshop really requires a powerful GPU and a processor at that, while in Paintool Sai it does not really need that bigger power or bigger juice from the CPU or the GPU. So yeah, I hope that this video tutorial, this video comparison between Paintool Sai and Photoshop will help you decide on whether what tool you are gonna be using in creating your digital art, your anime characters, original anime characters, or you want to practice to develop and practice your digital art skills, or you want to try it out. Which one do you prefer? Just choose any of this software. It's really nice. But for me, as an advice, I would rather say that use Paintool Sai. It's really easy once you get the hang of it, and once you get the hang of the controls of it. So I hope this video is helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next time. And if you have some questions, problems, or any suggestions at all in what's the next tutorial that you want to have, please do leave a comment in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer everyone's inquiry, questions. Yeah, I will help you guys. So see you next time, and goodbye for now.